in real time. I'm gonna break down exactly how I like to set up my stories. I pretty much follow the same exact layout. I might adjust or change a couple things depending on the product, but in most cases, this is the exact format that I like to run. Assuming you've already been watching the other trainings, you know that I like to use a Shrine theme. So we're gonna use a brand new spanking Shrine theme account and show you exactly how to do this. First things first, I was actually creating the product. That is always number one. So we'll have a separate training on exactly how to create a product card. This is super important because good product cards for your product is important, and obviously you need to know how to do this. So for this example, we're going to be using this product here, a remineralizing tooth powder. I think that's correct. Okay, boom. I already have a bunch of pictures here. Is already ready to go. So we're going to drop these pictures in here. Again, watch the product card breakdown. I explain how to create good product cards for your product so people actually want to buy. So now we're just going to arrange this. Always have the offer number one, and then some benefits and features, some comparisons, and then we have money back guarantee. Boom, boom, boom. That's good. Good. That goes here. Sweet. Ingredients. Nice. We're going to list this product at $29.99. And the compare price, I always like to do it $10 more. Cost per item, I forgot how much I'm sourcing this from for, but whatever. Take off, track quantity. This is a physical product. None of this really matters. And then for SKU, we're just going to put tooth powder. Hit save. We don't need to put anything in the description. We'll do it on the website. All this stuff here. Make sure this is all included. Boom, which it is, active. And there we go. We're ready to create our store. Okay, so let's go into it here. I also like to rename this. This doesn't matter too much, but just to keep myself organized when you're testing tooth powder, a ton of different products, it's always important to keep things organized. All right, so the color that I'm going to be rolling with here for this brand is, the main color is going to be this nice light blue. I think for tooth products, it's always important to do that. I do not start on the homepage. The only thing I'm going to do here is just make sure that this button goes to my product page. I always come back later down the line, and I will make this a priority later. So we'll go to products. We'll go to the product we're doing, remineralizing toothbrush, and then we'll do our tooth powder, and then we'll do shop now. Hit save, and then we'll go here, and now we can start doing a bunch of stuff. As you see here, the product cards and everything loaded up, and we have it for the brand Evelyn's. All right, so go to settings right away, and I like to change the logo. So I have the logo already made. Now I did this all in Canva. There was a little glitch that I saw. Let's see if this glitch is still active. Let's see. So this should change. Yeah, it is. It's cutting off for some reason. It is cutting off the logo. I have no idea why. So I'm going to, let's see here. Resize, do that. For some reason in Canva, it was cutting off the top of my logo. I don't know, no idea why it's doing that. So it doesn't make sense as to why it's doing that because the logo is definitely big enough. Give me 1 second. Let me quickly try to do this. So this is, boom. I'm gonna create something here. So on Canva right now, all I'm doing, I know you guys can't see my screen because it's on my other monitor. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just literally trying to resize this logo in Canva so it works properly. I have no idea why it's cutting off a portion of the screen. It's doing it in the save file too, so that's how I know it's a Canva issue and not like a Shopify issue. Let's delete that. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Alrighty, so that's up to date there. Nice. There was just an issue with sizing. So we're gonna use this nice light blue now. We're gonna go into logo. We update our logo. You don't need a secondary logo. You don't need a favicon. That's really not important. Now we're just gonna go to colors, and we're gonna make the main color this light blue color. Actually, a little darker than that. Should match this color here. In fact, let me use this color picker real quick to grab that color. Like this color here. So this is a darker, richer blue. Whoops, didn't copy the whole thing. Boom. There we go. Sweet. So as you can see here, the store lines up with the product color, so everything's nice. I like to change colors pretty often. And then for your accent color, for this, I'm not going to sweat it too much. We could use like a darker blue for this. Give me 1 sec here. It's like a darker blue. Could go like a richer, darker blue, just to make it pop and stand out some more. Boom. Outline color. Again, don't stress this too much, but we want to make sure it stands out and looks clean there. Nice. Logo, guys, don't sweat the logo. A lot of times the logo, I just use the name of the store in a nice font. Like I don't over stress that. We'll come back here and go over different bundling tactics I like to use. I use a different tool for this. You can use the Shrine theme bundler. You don't need to get a separate tool, but all the same thing. So now let's get into some of the other like quick features that we can quickly do, specifically with the Shrine theme. So I like to make this a little smaller so it doesn't take up the whole thing. It's interesting how that's, okay, let's hit save here. And then real quick, let me just hit preview or view. Okay, cool. So it'll be one line once we have that preview. That's important because we want everything to look smooth. For reviews here, we're just going to write in the amount of reviews we want. So for example, we can say 3,280, 84 reviews, right? Make it seem realistic. I'm going to add in a feature here with the Shrine theme. It's a cool thing that you can do here. It's called, what is it called? It is called, let's see. We'll scroll through and we'll find it here. Urgency text? Yes, urgency text. So basically what we can do with this urgency text here is we can basically position it in a way that we can add like an additional guarantee or something. For me personally, I like to do like a 6 day. I like to put the money back guarantee here at the top. So it's one of the first things people see, money back guarantee. And then I always like to put emojis. So I go to this tool called Emojipedia. If you're on a MacBook or Mac device, you can easily do this, but I like to just, on a PC, do it like this. Okay, and boom. So now that looks clean and nice. Boom. So you'll see 6 day money back guarantee. Now, under the reviews here, we're going to add something called like emoji benefits. So if you scroll here a little bit, should be somewhere. It's like something benefits. I think it's called emoji benefits. Yep. So we have emoji benefits here. So what we can do is start throwing in some benefits for this particular product. I have it as rebuild enamel, and then you can always store your product into ChatGPT and ask it for these things, right? Like give me a product description, 3 quick product descriptions I can put under my product or product features, whatever. So for this particular product, it's going to rebuild enamel white brush, natural whitening without sensitivity. And then we can also put fluoride free protection. That works. Now we got to throw some emojis in here. So you can throw some emojis in there, make it bold, make it look nice, and then you're good to go. We're going to come back and add a bundle and offer. We're going to talk about that in a separate training. So we'll come back and make that look clean. But we're going to continue here. If you have really good supply and you can ship things really quickly, I recommend having this here. But if not, I recommend not having this here, because if you flaunt it in front of your customer's face, it's going to take them 2 weeks to get their product. This actually could hurt your conversions. So you should have somewhere in the description that says your shipping times, but you shouldn't make it very clear and bold, because for some customers, they see that and it's immediate turn off. If they later on figure out that it's going to take a little longer, that's one thing. But if they see it right away, that can actually hurt conversion. So I would not leave that there. Instead, what I would do is I would add right under the buy button, I believe it is called review avatars. Yep. So I would do this where I would add a review avatar and I'd say 100 orders in the last 24 hours to make it seem like your product is flying off the shelf right away, which is important. So what we'll do is we'll leave it how it is now, and then we can add some pictures of some customers, like realistic looking customers. For this, I'm going to add customers that are smiling and look happy, and I'm going to add this here as the pictures right now. There's a ton of different ways you can get realistic pictures of people. You can obviously just Google them and pull them off the internet, but to be safe, I always recommend either creating the images yourself, or you can use random person generator, and then it will generate this website here. This will generate random pictures of people of any gender, race, age, whatever. But you can also use AI as well. But the biggest thing is don't oversweat this. Don't overcomplicate this process. Just find some realistic pictures of people, and then you're good to go. I'm gonna change this color to, once again, match the brand. So to do that, you just jump down here. Boom. Let's use this blue here. And then for the border color, use like a darker so it stands out. And then hit save, and then you're good to go there. Under this is also important. We want a picture, a couple of quick reviews, right? The biggest thing is right here and above is called above the fold, right? You should provide as much important information to your customers without them needing to actually scroll and figure out questions and get reviews. There's certain important things that are social cues to customers that they need to know before making a purchase, like how does this product actually help me? Your ad kind of explain it, but do you reiterate what you had in your ad in this actual training, or on this website? Are the customer reviews, testimonials, right? What do people have to actually say about this? And then also, what are the objections that they have? How can I answer that? Right, so one of them is that, hey, this is fluoride free. Right now, the customer doesn't have to wonder, is there going to be fluoride in this? Right, it's good for sensitive teeth. Right, that's another question that they might have, or objection. So we also want to reflect that in our reviews as well. So I already have some reviews here, and the way we're going to do this is add 3 of them. So the author's name, I'm going to do Jackie R for one of them. Another one is going to be Linda H. Put space there. I'm going to do Linda H. And just make it up, guys. Again, don't overstress this part. This isn't going to overall make your conversions insanely crazy if you have if you have this or you don't have this, but I highly recommend it, because these small details do add up over time, especially at scale, right? That's always the thing I always think is like, what would a brand at a high level, what would they be doing? What would their store look like? And there's a good chance that their store would look like this, So super important here. So now we're just going to start throwing in some pictures of people. So I have a picture here. I have another realistic picture here. Ideally, I would like to, these should be pictures of people smiling with their teeth open, but it ultimately doesn't really matter too much. Again, these details matter, but not as much as you guys may or may not think. And now we just throw in the reviews under the review text. Okay. Okay. Put that there. Nice. Grab this one here. I have this all in a document on a second screen, so I'm just copying and pasting. If you prep all this stuff ahead of time, building the website takes no time whatsoever. Boom. And boom. So we would obviously adjust this. This stuff is getting removed and this is getting removed, but for now, for the skeleton of the actual website, everything is looking solid. Now we create, we go down here to collapsible row. We're going to create another collapsible row. So we're going to click on this. Actually, to add another one, you have to hit this plus icon here, type in collapsible row. And now we have 2 collapsible rows. This is going to be quick information. So the first one's going to be product details. Rename this product details. Again, you can use ChatGPT for this. All I'm going to do is just copy this and this description that I have here. Okay, tell ChatGPT to take this description. Okay, so I have I'm gonna show you guys the description real quick too, but it's basically just I pulled a description from Amazon that had the same exact product basically, and then I just copied it and told, hey, ChatGPT, recreate this description from Amazon, but remake it for my brand. And then when you paste things in, things sometimes get messed up in formatting, so just reformat it as you see, and it just basically answers any other questions. Third-party testing that this developed formula that really helps for this particular product, helps with the validity and realism of this product. Obviously, this is a real product with, I guess, real results, but it just makes us look more sophisticated. And also, again, handles objections, right? You got to think when someone's on your website, they're going to have particular questions. And if you don't answer them, they're not going to buy, right? Any slight doubt, they're going to go to Amazon, they're going to go somewhere else and try to find a website that answers their concerns. So try to use ChatGPT or whatever AI tool you use and really make sure that they have a good understanding of your customer, your target audience, and what questions they may or may not have. So I'm going to resize all this, make this heading 4, and boom. And then as you can see here, I like to save after any updates or anything like that. Boom. So now someone can literally click the product description, get more insight information if they if my ad didn't fully answer all their questions. Okay. Hopefully you guys are all following along pretty well. And at any given point, guys, just DM me or message in the community chat and we get that going for you. Another small detail, but it's just a habit that I've developed, is I like to change these text boxes into actual emojis. And there you go. Next one is shipping and refunds. I have the same exact shipping and refund for all my products. So I go to icon here and change this to a little truck driving. And then for this is just copy paste at this point. We just paste this in 60-day money back guarantee, which is reiterated in the product card. Here, you can see here, if someone's scrolling through the product card, 60-day money back guarantee, 60-day money back guarantee. And then in the description here, we're going to rename that shipping and refunds. This above the fold is the hardest part, and it's the most important part. You want to spend the most time prepping and getting all this right. Always optimize for mobile view. Okay, so that's another thing here. This is important. If you notice with the shrine theme that there's like an overlapping, for some reason, that like the next picture is overlapping. I absolutely hate that it does this. So to fix this, all you have to do is click on the product card here. And I always forget exactly what it's called, but I believe it's padding. It's called padding, scroll padding or something like that. I don't think it's any of these. It's display, vertical. It's one of these here. Give me a sec to figure out. Display. It's one of these. Display horizontal thumbnails, vertical thumbnail width. Thumbnail position set to, I think it might be, so this number is 16. If we bump it to 10, does it do that? Yes, it does. It's not this. It probably is under mobile media. Display horizontal thumbnails. If we bump it down to 3, that's not it. So bump that back down to 5. Vertical width. Is it this? No. So what is this at 22? It's one of these here. Spacing between hidden thumbnails. Scroll padding. There it is. So it's under mobile slider scroll padding pixels. We want to set that to 0 because we don't want like an overlap, right? Where they can see the next image. That doesn't really serve us and it looks kind of ugly. So I always set that back down to 0. Boom. And then boom. So this above the fold part is really clean. And the rest of this is super easy, guys. So now what I like to do, again, this is going to be kind of product dependent. Some products require this, some do, some don't. I always recommend having like a customer slideshow of pictures. And this section is going to be called just image and video slider. So I'm just going to type in image video slider. Throw that in there, and then we can throw in all our pictures. So I have a ton of pictures that I generated through Higgsfield that looks super, super realistic. And they are under here, evidence, customer images. So this is optional, but I want to show, because my product is showcasing people, helping people get better smiles with their gum lines and everything, this is really easy for me to just throw a bunch of pictures of people with nice smiles. This is all AI generated pictures, right? These are not real pictures, but they look super real with Higgsfield. You can also use ChatGPT too, but ChatGPT doesn't make them look as clean. So all I'm going to do here is on this side here. Don't know where my webcam went. Okay, webcam just kind of disappeared there. But what we're going to do here is just delete this, delete this, delete this. Now we can start adding this in. So this is just going to be image slide. I'm going to add a total of 10 of these. And this is going to allow us to just make our website come to life. It's going to have it be an active slideshow of just different people smiling. It just provides another level of security. Like, hey, our website's legit. Our product and brand is legit. We have people that have used it, and it adds to this. Now, you can obviously swap this out for video slideshow. Maybe you're downloading videos from TikTok, and you want to show people using and holding the product. You can do that as well. We're actually going to do that a little later, but on a smaller degree. I'll show you what that looks like momentarily. Let's get 10 of these here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, cool. Hopefully, I'm still recording. I am. Alrighty. Great. And now we're just going to add all these images in one by one. And there's not really much else to do. We're going to add a headline, obviously. But we'll just go here and just drag and drop these guys. Boom. Quick and easy. Quick and easy. Building a store, maybe if you're a complete beginner and you're new to Shrine, might take you a few hours to navigate. Hopefully, with this training, it should cut your time in half. from the average beginner that doesn't have a resource like this community and this training, but it really shouldn't be too long. The rule of thumb, guys, is whoever can test and get build their store, test more ads the fastest will be more likely to find that winning product sooner. So you don't want to be spending too much time on building your store out and making it look perfect and making every detail immaculate, because at the end of the day, there's gonna be someone that tries way less than you and gets farther and faster than you because they're not trying to make every detail absolutely amazing. Okay, afterwards, after you've proven the product and it's a winner, then of course you can go back and do stuff. But for now, that's not something you really need to do. I like to add this in, loved by thousands of customers. You can even say hundreds, thousands, whatever. Add a little exclamation mark, whoops, and then hit save. So now our website's starting to look more and more realistic. And then what you can do here to make this an actual slideshow is click this header here on the left-hand side. And then you're going to set this to enable autoplay. And then you can choose how often it's spinning by. I believe I, on average, like to do like 2 seconds or so. And then we're going to make this infinite so it keeps rotating the images here, as you can see, like this. And that just brings the website to life, makes it look more realistic and stuff. Now we're going to add a section, just a paragraph section, where we're going to add a GIF of someone using our product, and we're going to add some copy in there as well. So what we're going to do is called, I believe it's called, is it image with text? What's this thing called? It's called, yes, image with text. So we're going to give it a headline here. So this is the headline, and then this is the description. Hold on, I think I copy it, making sure I'm copying the right thing. Boom, yep. And then make sure for the button, you select the product again. And then I like to make these add to cart. Some people I know like to put like a lock emoji as well to make it seem more secure and stuff, totally optional. And then what I'm gonna have to do here is pull up Canva real quick. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. So you are going to want to add a video to make the GIF as best quality. You can add a video with this. And I have just a TikTok creator using the same product, but in a different way. And I'm just going to throw this in there, give it a second to upload, and then it should actually turn itself into a GIF. So this is good because if you create, turn a video into a GIF with like some other third-party tool, by the time you put it on your website, it might not look as clean. But if you just take the high-definition video, you can throw the video into Canva in a 1x1 or a 2000 by 2000 pixel format, so it becomes square. That's totally up to you, but it should populate like this, and now I have the person holding the product, showcasing the product, and it looks nice and clean. Hit save. And then we're about halfway done already, guys. Honestly, there's not much really left to do here. If I go to the mobile version, you can see here, website's looking really clean, product description, pictures, they're going to just float and hover like that when you're not on it. Now we have someone showcasing the product. We have some copy and messaging that further elaborates on the product, why it's good, why people should buy it. So now we only have a little bit left to go. So now the rest of this is just fluffing out the page and making it look clean. Right, so this custom columns is actually perfect. We're going to actually segue to using a custom column section. And this is just like quick hitters, right? Like quick core points about why this product is so good. This is going to be pulled directly from the same image that we're going to use in our product page anyway, but it's just further elaborating on how great of a product this really is and why customers should buy it. So pretty easy here. You're going to see me just kind of copy and pasting because, again, I already built out the format and everything. But I recommend, regardless of the product, more times than not, this is going to be something good. This is like one of those things where someone's really skeptical about the product, and they're scrolling through and they're trying to read like, some of the more features and benefits about it. This is where this can help really convert that customer, because they're going to see like the quick hitting facts and information about it that makes it a good problem solving product for them. So boom, gonna add the last one here. And for a remineralizing tooth powder that's designed to help people regenerate their gums, make their teeth whiter, right? Like we're touching on every angle here, which is really nice. And then for the image, we're just going to select actually the same image we used earlier in our product card, which is this one here, which kind of just highlights, again, what we've been showing. Perfect. Next page is, our next section is testimonials. Super, super important. So we have them here. We don't need this, so we'll delete this section here, which is icons with content. We'll delete that. And then image slider, I don't believe we'll need another one for, yeah, we won't need another one, I don't think so. We'll delete that one too. And then we'll have these testimonials here. So this is also really cool too. Again, I use Higgsfield to generate realistic pictures of people holding my product. So I love it because it helps your brand look so much more legit. So I have a picture of this guy, and I'll just throw these two in here as well. So boom, we'll have it, and it literally looks like he's holding the product. Which is awesome. So we'll have specific angles. We'll use testimonials to create specific angles to target our customer, our target audience, right? So for example, like there are multiple target demographic of people that would benefit from this product. One of them being a coffee drinker, right? So we're going to make a testimonial of someone that used to drink coffee, and we're going to say, hey, yeah, look, I used to drink coffee. I was in your shoes. This product helped me. So that's one angle, right? Hit save there. But then we also have another angle, right? Which is, let's get an image here. We have the fluoride angle where people have been trying certain teeth whitening solutions, and the fluoride in a lot of teeth whitening products hurt their teeth or are bad for them, right? We know fluoride is bad for your teeth. So that's another angle we can use, right? And think about your product, guys. Obviously, we're talking about my product here, but think about your own product and how you can find different angles and different target demographic of people that can look at the product and say, hey, does this align with me? When you can call it someone's pain and you can create messaging and copy that seems like it correlates to someone in their specific problem, like coffee drinking or fluoride or enamel, decay from smoking, stuff like that, they're going to be more likely to purchase from you because it's like, oh, I didn't realize that, this exact problem is happening to multiple people. So then they're going to be like, okay, cool. Or even if they do realize it, they're going to feel more called out, like, oh, this is exactly who I am. Okay. So we'll go back here and just add in the author's names. Okay. Always save stuff too after you make a couple consecutive changes in a row. Always save stuff, because if your internet goes out or anything like that, this will not save unless you manually saved it. Boom. Testimonials. And I'm also going to show you guys how you can add reviews as well to your website as well. Now we're going to add another little text with image, just more copy. Now this next image, or this next GIF or video, if you will, was actually created using Higgsfield. It's going to, again, be a realistic image, or I guess in this case video, of my product being opened and used, just to further elaborate that, yes, this is a legit product that you will get in your hands once you make an order. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Let's undo that. Let's click the button here, then hit add to cart. Okay, add to cart. Product. Boom. Hit save, and then give me a second to add in that GIF there. I mean, I just think this is so cool, right? So this bottle with my logo and brand on it, I literally have never had, this doesn't exist, right? This is not real. I've never obviously had this product. I'm testing the product, but to be able to use AI to create these super realistic like videos and images is just amazing. Just absolutely so cool. So just a few more things to finish this off here, and then we're out of here. We'll have a nice story. There's some other like small details as well that I want to show you guys that's important as well. So we'll add another kind of section here. What we can do here is add another text with image section. We're going to just make this reiterate the money back guarantee. I'm going to do a couple things here. Boom, boom. Throw this in there. Once again, add the product. Boom. Add to cart. Actually, I like to, at this point, I like to say, try it risk-free. Now, since it's the money-back guarantee part, just reiterate that. For the image, we're going to select our 60-day money-back guarantee. Boom. We're just going to flip this, though. We're going to make media second. That's for the mobile. We'll do it for here, media second. There we go. So now it offsets this and makes it look good there. Then we'll add icon bar, and then we'll add like 2 more things and we'll be all set. So icon bar, boom. So for this, if you haven't already, make sure you turn on, and I'll show you guys how to do that in just a second. We're gonna want to turn on live chat, so customers can actually message us in real time, and then it'll notify us on our phone so we can answer their questions. So we're gonna do this here, 24/7 chat. This actually gives us the competitive advantage of saying, hey, we offer 24/7 customer support, right? We can delete the subtext there, reiterate this money back guarantee, boom. Grab this emoji, boom, and delete this. I'm gonna go here, fast and reliable shipping, nice, boom, boom, delete this. People love shipping, right? Like that's one of the biggest questions. They know if I'm not buying off Amazon, I got a question if I'm gonna even get my product, right? People have caught on to what dropshipping is in 2025 and on. So it's important that we reaffirm their beliefs and address their concerns. And hey, look, we do ship, right? We do have fast, reliable shipping, relatively speaking, of course. Boom, 3,000 happy customers. Real quick, I'm gonna show you guys. If you go to apps here, go to online store chat, turn this on, set this to the color, whatever color you want. So it's gonna populate here on the customer's end. I always put mine in the left-hand corner. Sweet. So it doesn't cover the sticky add to cart, which this is something you can turn off if you want to. But for the sake of this, I'm gonna leave this on. Now we're gonna just do some FAQs, frequently asked questions. I know there's a debate like, should you add this at the top or the bottom? Honestly, if you have a good product cards and your product description is good, you don't need a ton of FAQs, or you don't need FAQs to be right at the tippy top of your website. So we're just gonna hit collapsible row, type in FAQs, and then you could again use ChatGPT for this. But we're just gonna copy this and just one by one answer these. So, for this particular product, is it safe to use? And we're just going to go in and just answer this. A lot of this should technically already be answered throughout your website. But if it's something very niche specific and you don't want to necessarily answer it there, then that's fine. You can use FAQs for that. Okay, get this third one here. Obviously, do this for your product too. Make it make sense for your product. Use Amazon to help you with some of these as well. Use ChatGPT, use AI. It's really not that hard. Just make it look realistic. You should also have a competitor that you should be kind of mirroring your website off of as well. So you're not like having to think of this from complete scratch, but obviously this is why this video is here. I add another collapsible row for the last one here. Boom, boom, boom. And boom, boom, boom. Sweet. 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 Hit save. And then for me, this is again optional, but I like to have containers and change the container color to container scheme. Huh. I like to have this be like have its own background color. Give me one sec here. Color scheme. Yes, row containers. To add row containers, and then that way it adds like a little background there. And then you can choose to change it to a different color if you want. I'm just gonna leave it as light gray for now. Sweet. And then for footer here, again, don't stress this out. I would throw the logo of the brand here. Boom. And then I would remove this. You see where it says powered by Shrine here? Just click here and scroll down to this Brandon section and remove that. Cool. And then quick links, we could create a footer for quick links. I can show you guys how to do that down the line, but honestly, this doesn't matter too much, but we should have the refund policy, privacy policy, terms of service, and then your privacy policy there. Okay, or your privacy choice. This, we can make this a little bigger for the logo. Image width. Okay, a little bigger. Okay, so we're almost done. Obviously, there needs to be stuff done here with the pricing and bundling. Also, add to cart upsells. That's another thing that we can talk about in another training. But if someone were to buy 2 of these bad boys here, let's actually remove this selector. Add to cart here. There was an error. Updating this to cart. Republish. Let me see if I publish this to my store. It won't allow you to do any like test purchases if this is not published to your store. Okay, there you go. So we got 2 there. The cart section looks clean. Everything here looks clean. We don't have to do anything. Let's hit checkout. We want to actually add a couple of more logos and stuff like that. So the next logo we want to add is, the next thing we want to do is change this logo to make it look like a, obviously have our actual logo in there, but also make it look branded. So I don't think this is going to work here for me because I got to reformat the image. But this is that next image. Yeah, I'm going to have to reformat this. Give me a second here. But rather than just throwing a regular logo out, to reaffirm the customer at checkout, we want to also have like this like image that says, 3,000 plus happy customers. So give me a sec. I got to reformat this. Okay, so I reformatted that, so now that looks clean. So as they're checking out, they're getting more confirmation of their purchase. It makes it look like real life customers are checking out or checked out. We can also change the color here, the color scheme, to make it more branded. So background color, we want to just use our same color or some variation of the same brand color we've been using up to this point. So we'll use this like kind of lighter color, maybe even a little lighter. We don't want it to be loud and obnoxious. So I like this light color here. Boom, boom, boom. Easily check out the button. We want this a one-page checkout. We want the button. Okay, it'll be its own kind of blue there. And we can do like a test run to make sure this is all good. Hit save. And that should be good there. Change is saved. So now let's go back out. Let's make sure we publish this. Go to online store. Okay, that's published. Let's just go to an incognito tab real quick. Type in a website. Evelance. We got to go back to the homepage and update that. But let's add one to cart. Let's check out here. So you can see the brand logo is a little small. We got to make that bigger, so we can go back and make that bigger. Complete checkout. Okay, cool. So that's why it's always good to do some testing to make sure you don't have a glitch or a mess up like that. Let's go back here. Let's go to checkout. I don't know why the logo was so small. Okay, so it updated again. So now we know. We can see that. We want to make that center full width. Honestly, do not like this blue. I feel like it's a little obnoxious. So we're gonna make this a little lighter, a lighter blue, so it's not hurting the customer's eyes when they're checking out. So we save, boom, nice little light color there. Incognito again, go back to the domain, shop now, go to cart, checkout. Did not save, okay, did save, beautiful, boom, boom, boom. Checkout is nice, loud and blue, so I can easily check out there, nice. Okay, and then if I add just a mock-up fake address, shipping is free, so they'll check out like that. Boom, all right, so there you go. That is that. So now let's just go back and finish a couple things. Obviously, homepage is not finished. Now keep this in mind, guys. I want you guys to understand. As a brand owner in myself that has a store doing literally, 5K a day, the homepage does not matter. It quite literally does not matter whatsoever. People do not check this. We're going to always be linking in our Facebook ads. We're always going to have the link go straight to, we're going to have the ad go straight to the product page, not the homepage. So no one's ever going to see this. But in the off chance someone's snooping around and they click a couple buttons and they find their way there, we do want to make sure we are, we're good and clean there. So let's add a description here. Where is it here? Boom, 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 boom. I gotta go back to ChatGPT and recreate this. I did not do this. Let's go this. Recreate this description for my website for the tooth. All this other stuff we can just delete. We literally do not need any of this stuff here. Boom, delete. We're gonna update these quick links. Update the menu. We can delete this at the top. By the way, don't need this. Welcome to my store. We don't need the announcement bar. Hit save. Add this here in the description. And then for the product, there's 2 slideshow images here. We just only want one. And then for the image, you can you literally use like one of these images here of a person smiling with the product. Again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't look the prettiest, but it literally does not matter. On mobile, they'll see this, and then it'll look clean anyway. And then you hit shop now, and then boom, you're on the product page. It's that easy, guys. It's that clean and easy. Let's go back into menus, content, menus. Let's actually create a menu. So we're gonna change this to remineralizing. Actually, we're just gonna call it 2-powder because that's gonna be really long. Products, boom, boom, save, and then that should be good. I can just call this menu, by the way. Let me just double check to make sure that this is how I do it. But yes, this should just say menu. But let me just verify my notes here. Yeah. Actually, it just says main menu. Boom. And then also while we're here, we have to update the footer too. So go here, create menu, and call this footer menu. And then this is where you're gonna add all your policies here. So we're gonna do refund policy. And then we're gonna go to policies, refund policy. Boom. Then we're gonna go to privacy policy, policies, boom, privacy policy, save. And then we're gonna do terms of service. And as you update this, you'll never have to go back in here and update this. Like if you update this in your policies and your settings for whatever reason, this will automatically update on all your websites. So terms of service is terms of service. Where's terms of service? Is that under policies? Oh, it's right here. Okay. And then your privacy choice. I don't remember doing this, honestly. To be honest, I did this so long ago. Is that under policies as well? Honestly, you don't even need this other policy that I have here. Yeah, you don't even need this policy. You can throw in like track order. I would, it's all actually, no, I wouldn't do that because it's already in the header. So you don't need that. Boom, boom. So now that's save. You hit discard after you hit save. So it's actually saved. So you have a main menu, and then a footer, and then that's it. So now if I go back to the online store, go to customize, you have, I don't know why it has this still. Header, should we, header, give me one sec here. Let's see why this is not. It's giving you a whole bunch of extra stuff. Okay. So a couple quick notes here for the logo of the actual brand here. So I would make this product pages. I would make this the product page. So when someone clicks this, it goes straight to the product. And then hold on, for the menu here, there's a specific thing you're supposed to do for the menu. So boom, boom, they have menu search, but how did I override this again? Drop down, main menu, middle center, body, menu, circle, country code. I have no idea why this should not be giving you this. Give me one sec here. Give me one sec. I see the issue here. Okay, so I figured it out here. What you're gonna do is click on the header here, make sure header selected. Then when you go down to menu, just hit this, drop down here, hit replace, and just make sure you have the main menu selected there. We're gonna do the same thing with the footer here. We're gonna select the footer, replace, footer menu, and then now you have a proper footer with your quick links there, and then a proper headline.